Hi, I'm Timothy Goddard, Executive Vice President of Corporate Strategies here at Corum Group. Every year here at Corum, we leverage our unique vantage point in the marketplace to develop the top 10 disruptive trends that we see driving tech M&A. We take the thousands of interactions with tech companies through our educational events, the research that we do for both clients and events, and then our thousands of conversations with buyers on behalf of our clients. Then we synthesize it all into the leading list of its kind every year. Whether you're a tech company CEO considering the M&A market or a buyer seeking to make acquisitions, these are the trends that you need to understand because they shape today's tech M&A environment. One of the reasons that buyer demand for technology companies has remained strong even through somewhat chaotic economic times is that the sheer amount of disruption happening creates the change that drives strategic imperative for buyers. Properly positioning your company in relation to this disruption is critical to getting the true value of your company. Well-positioned companies get sold. So, let's take a look at our top 10 disruptive trends for 2024. As in the past, our foundational trends are those that are changing things at a core level of society, technology, or the economy, while functional trends describe how that disruption is playing out in specific markets and technologies. Let's dig in. We'll start with a twist on an old favorite, Gen AI enablement. It's been a while since we've seen a trend step directly from the headlines into significant demand on the M&A side. Typically, buyers are cautious, even cynical, about the latest hype cycle, but the potential of generative AI is clear enough to move past that in many cases. And not just the potential, but real companies are generating real revenue from Gen AI right now. I've seen the financials for companies who were already active in this space, and you could literally see the inflection point in November 2022 when ChatGPT was released. I've seen other companies go from zero to hundreds of thousands of MRR in just a few months by addressing a niche created by this new ecosystem. Buyers are paying attention. And on that ecosystem note, it's not just companies leveraging generative AI that are seeing interest. As in previous iterations of the AI enablement trend, both those companies enabled by Gen AI and those enabling it will benefit. That's particularly true here, where unique needs are already being felt, especially around large language models and the required management, quality assurance, compliance, orchestration, training, and customization needed at the infrastructure level. Gen AI is extraordinarily compute intensive, which means that technologies enabling more or more efficiently used processing power will be in demand. And there are unique needs around both compute power and electrical power that are being addressed. Within Gen AI itself, systems that drive autonomy on one hand, autonomous agents, for example, and those that enable and improve human collaboration will be key. Finally, a word of warning. The heat in the Gen AI market is a double-edged sword for smaller tech companies. If you've built exciting tools in this space, you're likely seeing significant customer interest and will see significant buyer interest if you go to market. For now. But all the major players are betting on this space, and what's unique and highly valuable today may be eclipsed tomorrow. We strongly encourage companies in this space in particular to calibrate the market today and find a partner to help them weather the exciting competitive future of generative AI. Next up, last year's leading trend and still key to the landscape, people-centric productivity. The heart of this trend is the fact that while automation was expected to make the human workforce obsolete, instead, changes in the labor market have made workers even more efficient and valuable. Despite advances like Gen AI and despite rocky economic environments, unemployment rates in the US at least have remained at historic lows. This environment is driving M&A for two kinds of companies. On the one hand, it's those companies with the technology to help attract, retain, and engage employees. HR tech M&A in 2023 was down from its record peak in 2022, but still running ahead of 2021, which was itself a record. The window for successful companies that address recruiting, workforce management, employee engagement, and related needs remains open. This includes companies like Corum Client, the employee app, providing engagement solutions for deskless workers sold to Engagedly, but also compliance and safety solutions for employees like Corum Client OK Alone sold to People-safe. The other side of this is the software that helps employees do more with less, improving their productivity, automating drudgery, and letting them focus on the tasks that human beings are uniquely suited for. This can be more horizontal tools like Corum Client One-Place Solutions acquired by IdeaGen, but there's even higher demand for automation, workflow optimization, and other efficiency solutions that have been purpose-built for vertical markets, like Corum Client Photo Merchant, providing AI-powered workflow to photography studios, sold to ImageQuicks. Actionable analytics is a broad term for technology that turns data into prescriptive insights that enable faster, better decision-making up and down the corporate ladder. These are not usually visualization or generic analytical tools, but tend to be embedded in platforms that can access the right data, run the numbers, and point to optimal actions, as well as the supporting data management technologies that undergird the entire data infrastructure that makes these advanced analytics possible. Business intelligence tools that prove actionable for users are in strong demand, like Corum client Gazelle.ai, acquired by Lightcast. Gazelle's proprietary AI-enabled tools forecast a company's likelihood to expand, enabling better decisions for a wide swath of users. Benchmarking, pricing, and decision support related solutions, whether standalone or embedded in platforms, are all key here as well. Next up, a new trend to the set that we're calling cash flow tech. We're seeing multiple trends converging here, actually, to drive significant interest in technology that enables businesses to achieve, maintain, and optimize consistent cash flow. Richard Branson calls cash flow the lifeblood of business, so no surprise that companies that focus here are in demand. Some of the M&A here revolves around software solutions with embedded or integrated fintech components. Chief among these is enabling and leveraging the flow of payments, a core strategy of acquirers like Fullsteam, which acquired Corum client Rubicon Group, provider of a vertical ERP for wire and cable manufacturers. It's also driven by a focus by many acquirers on the office of the CFO as a core segment, with many vertical market-focused acquirers now treating this as its own vertical. Corum sold Centerviews, a provider of robotic process automation for accounts payable and receivable, to Digital Advisor in one example. We're also seeing activity around insurtech, billing, subscription management, and it also touches on pricing and inventory management, which help drive deals for Corum clients Nitoscan, acquired by Cordance, and Alterity, acquired by CAI. This actually relates directly to our next trend, Everything Ops. The original ops, DevOps, focuses on enabling continuous improvement by ensuring clear feedback loops between those developing applications and those putting them into operation, leveraging communication, automation, and measurement to do so. The next evolution, Biz DevOps, added a third loop and integrated overall business strategy, including cash flow, into this continuous delivery process. This ops concept has proved valuable across tech infrastructure. Think ML ops, SecOps, cloud ops, but also in other contexts. Sales ops, marketing ops, product ops, even health ops and energy ops. If your software is enabling the flow of data across what used to be silos and the communication, measurement, and automation across the value chain that is needed to enable continual improvement, whether that's sales, service delivery, code, whatever else, then you're creating the kind of product that can be key for a buyer to either fit into their own suite of tools or as a platform for others. A great example is Riverside Company's investment in BusyBusy, a construction employee and asset tracking app that leverages that data into real-time insights, not just for crew productivity, but improved job costing and estimating, and better strategic decision-making overall. Next up, focused managed services. This is the prism through which buyers primarily look at services companies these days, whether pure IT services or tech-enabled services of various kinds. Buyers are looking for both the predictability of recurring revenue and long-term relationships, that's the managed part, as well as the deep, specific domain knowledge, the focus, that makes those customer relationships possible. This can be a focus by sector, like our sale of engineering and design services provider VPI Technology to Ludlam Measurements, or it can be by ecosystem, such as the sale of our client Vitasi, a leader in the IBM Maximo space, to Bentley. Generally speaking, it's easier to sell a hammer than a tool chest, so this kind of focus can definitely drive buyer demand, and especially for those services firms that are also leveraging one or more of these other trends we've talked about. We've been talking about the health tech continuum trend for quite a while, but in a famously slow-moving industry, it's going to be a long time before that changes. Traditional inpatient health systems still need a unified view of patients across the continuum of care, both before and after they enter the facilities, while outpatient providers of all kinds need comparable capabilities, often purpose-built for their practice area. Similar capabilities are also needed on the care side, from drug discovery to clinical trial to diagnosis and treatment. Tech companies filling gaps across both continuums and driving improved results, financially and clinically, are seeing demand. Solutions for the post-acute market remain in high demand across care management, staffing, patient engagement, and upstream, we're seeing significant demand at the innovative intersection of life sciences and healthcare. Corum sold Drug Interaction Solutions, a spin-out from the University of Washington. They built the market-leading database of drug interactions to Certara to enhance its biosimulation for drug discovery. RegTech systems remains an active trend on both sides of the regulatory coin. Technology that more easily enables compliance across GRC, EHS, ESG, and other acronyms is in demand. I mentioned OK Alone in the worker safety space, but also Promium, enabling environmental and public health compliance, acquired by Clinisys, are good examples. We also saw a surging interest in software serving the regulators themselves, especially state and local government solutions. FileOnQ, acquired by Sloan Street Capital, serving law enforcement, MetroQuest, acquired by Social Pinpoint, serving departments of transportation, and Spatialist, acquired by Schneider Geospatial, serving county assessors. Then there's the drug interaction solutions deal I just mentioned, mission critical for both regulated life science companies and the regulatory bodies themselves. Companies like that, selling to both sides of the regulatory tug-of-war, are of particular interest to acquirers. All of these previous trends are being focused on frontline workers of various kinds in the blue-collar software trend. From the deep vertical niche software that's in huge demand from private equity funds of all sizes to broader segments like construction, ag tech, energy, and manufacturing, the digital transformation changing the roles of blue-collar workers remains one of the key facts of life in M&A. Niche solutions in specific blue-collar industries drive many deals like Minotaur Software, acquired by CAI, which served meat processors, Rubicon Group, acquired by Fullsteam, which served wire and cable manufacturers, and then Nitoscan, acquired by Cordon Software, primarily served secondhand retail stores. Cordon's also acquired Build-Centrics, a design and ERP suite for HVAC, ducting, and related trades. But it's not only niche software that can benefit from this trend. The employee app deal I mentioned earlier is relevant here, as they focus their employee engagement solution specifically on connecting deskless workers across industries with key information from their employers. Now let's close with digital built environment, where we're seeing the same thing happen with the physical environment that we're seeing happen with workers in the blue-collar software trend. On one hand, you've got software solutions like digital twins, building information modeling, and enterprise asset management. On the other hand, you've got sensors enabled by AI on the edge, and automation and controls enabled by software and feeding data back into those systems. Technology that digitizes the physical environment and, maybe more importantly, leverages that digitization is driving significant buyer interest. The acquisition of Corum client and BIM solution provider Unify by Autodesk is a great example, and we've done relevant deals with Hexagon, Bentley, and others recently. Both financial and strategic buyers are paying close attention to this trend. Those are the trends for 2024. Understanding these, as I've said, is key to understanding today's tech M&A environment. If you're curious, want to discuss any more of those, please don't hesitate to reach out.